Mel Kiper draft grades are out, and he has handed them out for all 32 teams, including the Chicago Bears. We react here on Bears Now by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. I got to be honest, a B grade for the Bears is just disrespectful, and I'll explain why throughout this video. Here's how he started his reasoning for this grade. He said the Bears came in round one with the chance to change the trajectory of their franchise after years, decades, even of quarterback futility. They traded away Justin Fields, clearing the path to take Caleb Williams at number 1. Chicago also owned the number 9 pick, but the reality is it had just 2 other selections heading into the draft, the fewest of any team in the league. Sure, Ryan Poles had a nice offseason, filling holes in free agency and via trades, but how much better could the Bears get with just 4 picks? This makes no sense whatsoever. Well, first of all, if your quarterback is a lot better than the last quarterback, that alone is going to make you a better team. And just because you have less picks doesn't mean it should hurt the grade as a whole. If you have really good picks in those 4 or 5 picks, that should help the grade say, whoa, he maximized or close to maximize those opportunities. You look at the Bears draft class, I mean, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze alone should give this a grade in the A's somewhere, even if it's an A-. You bring in Kiran Amegadjie as well as a high upside player at offensive tackle. Yes, Tory Taylor, there's conflicting opinions on that. I've come around on it. I don't love it, but I like the pick. It's a clear upgrade. It's a clear starter in the 4th round, which you're not going to find usually. And then Austin Booker, a guy that could have been in range at 75, falls almost 70 picks later as a solid pass rusher out of Kansas. And look, it'd be one thing if outlets everywhere were kind of B, B-, B+, but how about 10 other national outlets giving the Bears at least an A-? Associated Press, Sports Illustrated, The Ringer, USA Today, all A+, Bleacher Report, PFF, Yahoo Sports, all A, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, NFL.com, A-. Our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, not even me, gave the Bears an A. I gave them an A, but take me out of it. There's 10 other outlets, A- or better. Point is, Kiper's on an island here. Like, he is the only notable national draft analyst that is giving this a B. Not even a B+, a B. I don't understand. And look, our draft grades kind of, I don't want to use the word dumb, but silly to an extent. Of course they are, because it's all a projection. We haven't seen them play yet. But for what the projection is and the players they got, especially the 2 in the top 9, a B grade is just silly, if we're being completely honest. If you disagree with Mel Kiper, type boo in the chat. Kind of like how we boo Roger Goodell on draft night. You can boo Mel Kiper for this draft grade. He continues here by saying, Williams, the number 1 player on my big board, is an elite talent who will be surrounded by a great group of playmakers, which now includes wideout Rome Odunze, who finished number 4 on my big board. As I wrote Thursday night, he's going to be able to hit the ground running in Chicago. So now I'm confused. It's like he's reverting. It's like, oh, wait a second. Isn't that the whole point of what the Bears needed to do in this draft? Is like, hey, let's get Caleb Williams and do everything we can to help him. So not only did they do that in the offseason, which I'm taking that away from this, but you get Keenan Allen, which in a way should count with one of your draft picks. You get DeAndre Swift. I get that's free agency. But you get, Kiper said it himself, the number 4 player in this draft, according to him. Me, I had, maybe 5 or 6. It's still top 5, 6 player at number 9 overall. And Rome Odunze, who I agree is going to help him even more, along with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and company. Like, I just don't understand this, like, this thinking from Kiper. Like, you got 2 top 4 players on your board going to one team. The rest of the draft almost shouldn't matter when handing out a grade. A team gets 2 top 4 players, like that should be an A grade alone. So I just don't get what Mel Kiper's thinking here when he hands out this grade. More reaction and thoughts as he handed out some analysis for the rest of the picks as well. But first, I do have to shout out Prize Picks, our sponsor here on Chicago Bears Now. The NBA playoffs are well underway as the first round is kind of midway toward the end of some of these series. One series is already ended, but plenty of action to get involved on. The stakes have not been higher this season. Why not get in on them at prizepicks.com/CLNS? Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. Here is what I have tonight. Just a simple 2-player entry. They're giving you a deal on Brandon Ingram, 16.5 points. I'm taking the more there. Pelicans trying to stave off elimination against the Thunder. You got to think Ingram's going to come out firing. Jokic and the boys are going to close out the Lakers tonight. 51.5 points, rebounds, assists. I like the more there as well. He's going to light up the stat sheet. 10 to win 30 is 2-player entry. Gets 3 times your money when you fire it away. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. Some extra free play to get used to daily fantasy sports. And no one does it better than PrizePicks. 3 million users active on a daily basis. You should be one of them. Link and promo code in the comments, description, live chat if you're watching live right now. Go ahead and click and get started today. Okay, Mel Kiper on the other Bears draft picks here. He says, after that, Poles was able to add a 5th rounder, but still only had 5 picks. Kiran Amegadjie at 75 is a project offensive tackle coming off a partially torn quad injury. His physical traits are intriguing. He also said, I didn't love a team with only a handful of selections taking a punter in round 4, which that's fair. I had that thought as well. But at least Tory Taylor was the best at his position, also my thought. Austin Booker at 8 sacks last season could be a situational pass rusher. So, look, I agree with some of those points. Like, you could argue that the punter thing was probably not the best thing the Bears could have done, but I also understand it too, considering how bad Trenton Gill has been. But, like, you look at this, you get an elite 1-2 punch at Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. High upside offensive tackle. Yeah, partially torn quad, not great, but the Bears are big on medical evaluations. They rescinded a contract for Larry Ogunjobi. They're clearly comfortable with where he's at, and his physical traits are off the charts. He could be a potential starter down the road. You get a massive upgrade at punter, and Adam Hogue of CHGO, who's a special teams high school coach, said he could be top 5 in the league right away. Plus, an upgrade at pass rusher, like upside pass rusher with Austin Booker, who he's probably not a week 1 starter or a day 1 starter, but he's a rotation guy. He's better than Dominic Robinson. So I like what they did with what they had as well. And I'll even add the cherries on top here in a second of why this should have been an A grade overall. But if you want to go check out our grades, go do that. I broke out every single pick, every single player of this draft class by Ryan Poles. Also did a UDFA tracker, all of the signings the Bears made post-draft. And this morning, handed out some UDFA grades. That player right there, not going to tell you his name here. A lot of you should know him. I think he's got a shot to make this football team. So go check out our recent content. Hit the subscribe button. It's under the content tab. You see those thumbnails, you'll know you're in the right place. And I don't think you can forget about these guys. You traded your 2nd-round pick for Montez Sweat, who transformed this defense, and you locked him down to a below-market contract extension. Really well done. You get Keenan Allen for a 4th. Yeah, it may be a 1-year rental. We'll see. But I would still make a strong argument that a 4th-round pick's worth it to help develop your rookie quarterback. And then Ryan Bates, who could end up being your starting center. We'll see. He could also play guard. He could either start or be a backup. He's either going to be a starter or your top interior backup. Got him for a 5th. Like, my conclusion is, look, the on-field play will obviously look back on and determine whether or not this was a good draft, a good offseason, et cetera. But it's kind of hard to question what Ryan Poles has done in terms of building this roster. We saw last year the teams make steps. The team on paper this year is way better than what it was when the season ended. It's going to come down to this new offensive coaching staff to get the most out of Caleb and the boys, and for the defense to continue to take steps and improve and becoming a dominant unit. If those things happen, I think this is a playoff team in 2024. But we'll have to wait and see. Mel Kiper, B grade. I don't know. I disagree pretty wholeheartedly. How would you grade the Bears' offseason as a whole? A, B, C, D, or F? I'll go A minus. You would have liked to get more out of Justin Fields, but I think that was mostly out of your control. But I think it's been pretty damn good overall, and I am very excited about where this team is heading. All right, give us a follow on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at HGramNFL. DMs are open. We could talk ball. I'm always tweeting about the Bears, so if you want to give me a follow, I would appreciate it. Trying to get to 10,000 followers on Twitter.